Hello and welcome to League 2 Reviews. I'm your host Will, and today I will be going over what I think the next week will hold for us in terms of games. As you can see, Colchester fan here, so I'm going to start it right off on the hot topic, Colchester versus Gillingham. We have had really good form. 6 out of our last 8 we have won, and I think we won't let up with that. Especially with Mbik and Lisby and Payne, I'm pretty sure being back from injury, which is going to boost our attack a lot more. I think we are going to have a very strong chance to win this one. But Gillingham are above us, so you can't really make a case that we are better than them. I think they could sneak away with a win or could hold us to a draw. It really depends on how we play that day. I do think there's a chance it could go 2-1 either way though, because we're both pretty good sides and we both have that kind of attacking threat. We can both score goals, but I'm reckoning it's going to be a 2-1 victory to Colu. However, I could see it going 2-1 to Gillingham. Shrewsbury versus Grimsby. Grimsby have been on some pretty decent runs these last couple of games and are sitting pretty near the top of the table, especially against Shrewsbury, who aren't really looking that good at the moment, especially when you look at kind of how they're performing, especially when they're down in 20th against a Grimsby side that is, well, doing decently. Even if they lost their last game, you could still say there was quality in there. And while I could see a draw, I really don't think Shrewsbury have been too good this season, and I reckon Grimsby will take it away. Score prediction, I really can't say, but I'm going to say it could be a 1-1. However, I think it will go for a 2-1, maybe a 3-1 in Grimsby's favour, considering how they're performing, even though it's not their best. Next up, Fleetwood versus Salford City. This one is going to be major for me as a Colchester fan and also kind of towards Salford. They're sitting at 29 points. If they win this, they go up to third if their results go their way. Really, this should be a game for them that they need to win. And especially when you're looking at Fleetwood, who's in 13th, who've lost their last game and are doing not as well as Salford team are, you could make a strong case that Salford will get away with the victory. But I will not hold it against Fleetwood. They are quite a good side, and I don't think that we will see any real any real quality from each side. Kind of, we won't see outstanding quality. We will see maybe a draw. I'm thinking maybe 1-1, could be 0-0. But I just think that Salford will be trying a lot harder this game and could come away with a victory if they've really tried. However, I think they've got to put in that extra effort to get away with it. Next up, Bromley and Crawley. Bromley, of course, were first for a while in their last game when they went over Walsall 1-0. However, Walsall did come back to make that 3-1, which was definitely something. Bromley are now sitting in 5th. If they win this, they could go up to 3rd, could go up to 4th. They could really boost their point difference at the top, and this could be very, very good for them. Crawley, they're doing decent. They've won 2 out of the last 5, but I don't think they have enough quality. I don't think that they can really go against a Bromley team which has been doing pretty decent in their last games, winning 4 out of 5 and kind of skipping out Walsall, who've beat them 3-1. They're at the top of the table. They're performing quite well, and I wouldn't put it past Bromley to smash home a couple goals. I'm thinking it's going to be a 1-0, maybe a 3-0. I couldn't see it being 2-0. I can see maybe Crawley getting one here or there, but realistically, I think it's going to be 1-2-3-0 Bromley. I can't really see it going Crawley's way, especially given how they're playing at the moment. Harrogate Town and Accrington. Now, this is something. Harrogate need this if they're wanting to come out of relegation. And it's going to be good for them if they can get it. Accrington don't really have much to do, but they are coming off of quite good form. They've drawn 3 of their 5 and they've won 2 of their 5. They're definitely putting in some performances. Harrogate, I think, could be difficult for them, but given how they're playing, I don't think I can see them getting out a win. I could see a draw, but I can't see a win for Harrogate at this moment, unless maybe they were able to play around Accrington a lot better than they have been playing around other teams recently. So I really think it's going to be an Accrington win. I'm going to say 2-0 for that one. I really don't see Harrogate scoring. If they do, I'm thinking that Accrington aren't going to go long without a response, so it's going to be 1-1 at the very least. Barnet versus Bristol. Bristol, horrible form of these last games. They've lost all 5 of their games, and it's really hard to kind of give that accurate prediction on a team like that. Their form is terrible, but I think if they're given the right mindset, given the right boost, given the right motivation, we could see them maybe pulling a few goals. But against a Barnet side which has been doing decently as they've come up from National League, I can't really see a win for them. However, at Barnet, I can say they are a very decent side. They're sitting 14th. They could go mid-table. They could push for promotion this season if they really tried. And I really don't see them not doing it. I see Barnet winning this, and I see them going a few places up because they have been doing really decent in these last couple of games, and I wouldn't be mad to see them go up. But then again, looking back at Bristol, they come from League One. They haven't been doing the best, but out of League One sides, you can't really predict them. I mean, Bristol and Cheltenham both come, but they've both done terrible. Maybe 2 seasons ago, if they came down, you'd expect them to do decent, like pretty well. You'd expect them to do decent. You'd expect them to stay in the top half. But I think as of right now, Bristol, they haven't got the form. They haven't got the motivation they need to go against Barnet, who's a relatively comfy side, who I think that could definitely score goals for fun, and I think could definitely keep them away with their defence. I'm going to say a 2-0 to Barnet right there, because I don't see Bristol scoring goals, although I will be surprised if they do, and I won't be against it, because Bristol Rovers, I feel like, could stay up, and probably will stay up. Notts and MK Dons. This is a top of the table scrap. I really don't see a way that MK Dons lose this. They have been in very decent form, and I don't think that Notts have been in their best. Yeah, they've won their last game. They've won 3 of their last 5 games, but they haven't really, I think, got the quality to go over MK. And while you could say that something different, and I'll take criticism, because MK and Notts, they're 3rd and 4th, you can put them any way around, and I would say that's right. But right now, I don't see Notts winning against an MK team that I would say is very confident, very good on the pitch. So I'm going to give it an MK Dons win. However, I'm going to say 2-1. I reckon Notts could score if they get the ball out to Dennis a lot more. He's very clinical in front of goal, as we know. He's one of the top goal scorers. So I reckon if they can maybe play it a bit more to the front, they'll have a pretty good chance at scoring a goal. But I don't see them going over MK unless the Dons just don't defend him, which I think they'll do because they know how good he is in front of goal. Next, Swindon versus Cheltenham. Cheltenham come off a 2-0 loss to Colchester. They haven't really been doing their best. They've lost 3. They've won 2 of the last 5. It's just not really good. It's not something you want to see, especially against Swindon, who's 2nd, and they're pretty decent form. With this win, they could go top of the table if Walsall don't win. I reckon they'll be trying a lot more. I reckon that Swindon will be a team that, I hate to say it, will probably thrash Cheltenham, because Cheltenham have not been doing good this season. I don't see them doing anything against Swindon. I really think that Swindon have got a lot more of an attack compared to Cheltenham. I reckon their defence is quite solid, and I really can't see Cheltenham winning. I can't see Swindon struggling against them. I'm going to say Swindon 2, possibly 3-0, because Cheltenham have just not been at their best. And I wouldn't be surprised if they lost against second in the table, because they're second, they have been doing really well, really. Especially when you consider that Walsall's above them, and I really say they don't deserve it. They've kind of just gotten good goals every now and then, but Swindon have been putting in that work. And I reckon that Swindon will go first with their win over Cheltenham. Next, Barrow and Tranmere. This one's a hard one for me. Tranmere and Barrow, they're those teams in League 2 that you think they're League 2 teams. With no disrespect to any of them, I just see this being a draw. They are both decent teams, but they don't they don't shine quality to me. They don't really show me anything. I can't see them scoring goals. I can't see them really using the pitch to their advantage. I could see a 1-1 with maybe their defence not covering, but I really can't see goals for their game, especially when Barrow drew 3 of their last 5 and lost the other 2. They haven't really been the best, whereas Tranmere's kind of gone on a bit of a better run. They've got that motivation coming off of a win as well. I reckon Tranmere, they could win, but I don't see them against Barrow winning. I see them drawing 0-0, 1-1. I don't see more than 1 goal each. I really don't. But you know what? I wouldn't put it past Tranmere to surprise me, or even Barrow. They could go above a lot of teams if the results go their way, but I just don't see Barrow winning this. I don't see Tranmere putting a goal in. I don't really see goals. I see a 0-0, possibly a 1-1 if their defending just isn't up to par. Next up, Cambridge and Chesterfield. This is a hard one. Cambridge are doing decently, doing good. They just scrapped back a win in their last game, I'd say. I mean, last time I checked, they were a bit behind, but I can confidently say that I wouldn't put it past them to score goals. I really wouldn't. And I think that's what they're going to do against Chesterfield. I think they're going to score 2, because their attack is everything you want from a side that looks like they're going to get into playoffs, maybe promotion. It is coordinated, I'd say, and you could definitely see that they like their style of play. However, I think that's where Chesterfield might catch them out. They are quite good at counterplay, but also playing in possession, and I think that they might score 1, but I don't see them having the quality to beat Cambridge. They could hold them to a draw, definitely, but if they win, I would be very surprised with the way that Cambridge has been performing, because I would really say that Cambridge should win that even. So I'm going to go for a 1-1. However, I wouldn't put it past a Cambridge win at 2-1, maybe 3-1. Oldham versus Walsall. I mean, Walsall top of the table. Oldham are in 16th. They've both come off wins, but Walsall have been a lot more goal happy. I feel like I can't see Oldham winning. However, I can't see them losing. Walsall I could see winning, but I really can't see them losing. I could say that it would be a draw, but I know that I'd probably be wrong. It would probably be a win to Walsall because they are top of the table for a reason. They've got a good enough players, they've got good enough build-up play, and they know how to play. I'm going for a 2-0 to Walsall. However, I wouldn't put it past a 0-0 or a 1-0 if Oldham give us that quality that I know is hidden in their team. With 2 wins and 2 draws, when their only latest game being a loss, I really wouldn't put it past them to come back, spring back even, especially when they could go mid-table and actually push for a higher spot, because a few games, if the results go their way, they're up near us in 11th, 10th, and they're not really too far off, and I wouldn't put it past them to try a bit harder just to get higher up in the table. But I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-0 to Walsall or a 1-1. I really can't see it any other way. Maybe more goals for Walsall, but I don't think Oldham would let that many goals in, because we know that they can be seen with their quality in defending. Every now and then they can stick together. However, it's going to be hard to hold Walsall to a draw or win against them if you can't really play around them like Walsall has been playing around with a lot of teams. Finally, Crewe versus Newport. Newport sitting pretty in 24th, while Crewe are up in 11th. I can't see Newport getting out of relegation. As much as I hate to say it, they really can't score goals. Out of their last 5 games, they've only won 1 and lost 3. I don't see them getting anything out of this. I really see Crewe winning or a draw, because Crewe came off a loss, and I really don't know how they'd feel about that. However, I'm going to say it's going to be very much a Crewe win, because especially against bottom of the table, you wouldn't expect 11th to lose. I'd expect them to give them quite a bit of a tough time, to maybe put a few goals past them or hold them. So I'd really say that Crewe are going to win this, because I don't see Newport defending against a team that can score goals. I really don't see it. That is all for this week. I have basically just told you what I want to happen, what I think will happen, what I want to happen in Colchester game, really. But what I think is that the teams themselves that I reckon will lose, they just aren't. They aren't quite a defensive side. However, I can see them holding people out to draws if they can sort that out. I don't see Bristol Rovers winning though, because they are in terrible form, and unless they dig deep and really root themselves, I can't see them getting any points soon. I've been your host, Will. I hope you've enjoyed this, and comment on what you want to see next. Hopefully, next time you see me, I'll be out and around at the Colchester ground, and I hope to see you there.